Have a seat. Oh, alright. Thank you. Okay, alright. Before we start our interview session, please introduce yourself. Tell me about yourself. My name is Nurul Mawaddah binti Ahmazi, and I am an applied physics student with hands-on experience in level of testing, and a secretary of the Students' Representative Council of UTHM, University Tun Hussein on Malaysia, with many years of experience in the leadership and organization of various programs. Alright, nice. Alright, we just go to the first question. I just don't want to waste my time. Alright, the first question is, when you are faced with a problem, what do you do? Oh, alright. I will try my best to answer this question. So, I will use 7 steps to do so. Firstly, I will identify the issues and understand everyone's interests. And this is the options. List the possible solutions if needed and evaluate the options. After that, select an option or options and document the arguments. And lastly, agree on contingencies, monitoring, and evaluation. Oh, okay. That was unexpected answer. Alright. So, I will go to the second question. Please, describe to me a time when you face an unexpected challenge at work. Okay, for the second question. I used to work as a Navy for 3 years and various problems I have faced. I once had a tragedy in which the captain of the ship died as a result of falling from a ship while sailing in the middle of the sea. I was one of those responsible for the loss of the captain, and I made sure all of the crew returned to the camp safely. I made sure all the crew get the right instruction from me, and every instruction is not harmful to all the crew. And I managed to return to the campsite safely together with all the crew. Oh, alright. Then, how do you weigh the pros and cons before making a decision? First, I will write the decision I have to make at the top of a sheet of paper. Next, I will divide it in half vertically and label one side pros and the other cons. Then, list all of the possible positive consequences of the decision in the pros column and all the negative effects in the cons column. It may already be obvious whether I should implement the decision at this stage. If not, I consider the points I've written down and assign a positive or negative value to each one. Once I finish, I will add up the scores in each column and subtract the total cons from the total pros. And positive overall score indicates that I should go ahead with the decision, while a negative I suggest I should scrap it. Plus, I always use my common sense. If I suspect that the solution isn't appropriate, I will take some time to identify any factors I may have missed. Oh, wow. Then, how would you handle a disgruntled or dissatisfied customer? Alright, this is maybe the tough one. I would handle them by following 5-step process. First, I would involve listening to them to get to the bottom of their complaint or dissatisfaction. I would use effective listening skills to show that I genuinely care. Second, I would be to then ask probing questions to gain total clarity on the issue. Then, I would be to apologize if the company was at fault, which would be to offer several resolution to their complaint. By giving them option, I am effectively making them feel valued and in control. And lastly, I would be to apologize again, implement the resolution before making sure lessons were learned to prevent the same situation from happening again. I like your answer very much. Alright, then what matrices do you track on a regular basis? How do you use the information to adjust your approach? There are lots of metrics I can track on a regular basis. I can check my visits, leads, and customers from all of my marketing activities. I can check how much revenue I can generating. I can look to see how my calls to action are performing. I can see if I'm getting any inbound links to my site, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. The to-do list can really go on and on. If I am an email marketing manager, I often use open rates and conversion rates to determine the success of my campaigns. If email open rates are low, I will revisit the content to make sure it's relevant to the reader or try adjusting the subject line to make it more interesting. If conversation rates are low, I will take another look at the email copy to make sure it is clear and compelling and revisit the offer to make sure it is relevant and valuable to the target audience. Oh, fantastic answer. Then tell me about a time when you had to change your plan course of action at the last moment. How did you handle this situation? I have faced this before. While I was working as a program manager, a club association withdrew from a town and gown night parade competition and caused a tentative confusion that had been set. I have redesigned the new tentative at the last minute for the smooth running of the program. I have filled the vacancy of the parade competition that night with another club of the association so that there are no gaps during the parade. So, the results were very encouraging and the program that night was able to run smoothly and very lively. Okay, alright. Let me give you an example or situation. Your manager wants to buy a new software to help increase the team's productivity, and she asks for your recommendation. How do you respond? Alright. Before making a decision, I always put the organization first. If I understand the vision of my team or the organization, this enables me to make decisions that are justifiable and effective. I also consider the risk versus the reward. For example, if my decision involves taking a risk, I will decide what the benefit of new software is to the organization before going ahead with it. Alright, this is the last question for you. A simple question, okay? Describe a time when you had to solve a problem but didn't have all the necessary information about it beforehand. What did you do? Alright, this may be hard, but while I work at the office, I had a hard deadline. by which I had to submit a grant application on behalf of my boss who was out of town. We had worked all weekend making sure every piece of the application was in place, but somehow we had both overlooked a key component. My boss was flying and would thus be unable to communicate until after the application was due. The information required was something that could best be provided by my boss. However, by comparing previous applications and verifying the details with the department's business office, I was able to put together the relevant information and made the decision to submit the application for the deadline. It was accepted and we won the grant. You're such a good presenter ever. So, thank you. And just wait for your reply application, okay? See ya. Alright, thank you madam in advance.